Alright, what's up, peeps? So, I had made like 10 attempts to do this clip right here, but I'm taking care of Julie right now, and she kept screaming her ears out, screaming hallelujah, Hall and Myri. So, I think I'm just going to include her in here. Maybe she'll be a little bit more quiet. So hopefully you enjoy that clip, Tiger Prints. I mainly made that so I can test out the 4K on this new camera. So like the title says, I sold the Canon M6. I think I do want to get another camera that had 4K. That was my thought process, but I didn't want to stick with Canon. I wanted to try something else. I've heard a lot of good things about Panasonic. I think the reason that they get overlooked a lot is because of the autofocus. You know, a lot of people just want to rely on autofocus instead of trying to pull focus, and I get it. I was the same way, but now I'm comfortable with it that I decided to take the jump. So I got the G85, and I heard a lot of good things about the 4K. So when I filmed that and I edited it on my iPad, dude, I was blown away. Like, the quality is just so amazing. It does have a lot of good features that I haven't used yet, but I'm looking forward to using. Like, she's barely in the frame. So I do want to make this vlog using the G85. It's not practical because the autofocus sucks. But the cool feature and the one thing that I think that won me over was that the manual mode has a touch to focus feature. So for example, right now, let's say I was to move a little bit further back, if you can reach the screen. So I can reach out to the screen, hit autofocus, and then it focuses where I'm at right here. Same thing, this is a better example. So I'm gonna touch the autofocus, and then boom. And I think the idea is that as long as you stay in that spot, you're good. But I don't have to mess with the barrel, you know, I don't have to mess with pulling the focus where I could accidentally miss, which that happens a lot on the M50. On the M50, I pull focus on this little screen. It's hard to tell if I nailed it or not, and if I didn't, well then that clip is just useless. So also, I did a half-ass intro. I was tired of all these vlogs and videos, and I straight just go talking like a Jehovah's Witness. I just bust in, don't introduce myself, and start talking about Jehovah. I made one, so hopefully take a look at it and see if you like it, and this is probably gonna be the one that I stick with, so let's check it out. Mama Cheetah. Mama Cheetah. Hey man, let me focus real quick. This is an example. You gotta keep doing the touch to focus. And then sometimes if it's too dark, it won't focus, so it's got me there. But in that case, just try to go somewhere with more light. But that's the same case with the M50 though. If it's too dark, it won't focus. It'll keep breathing. Alright, so anyway, this lockdown, man. At first, I was all like, everyone needs to stay their ass inside. We need a quarantine. We need to listen to President Trump. But now, I can't do this, man. Like, I'm about to be on that let Jesus take the wheel mentality. I did my part. We stuck it out. There's no vaccine yet, and there's not expected to be one anytime soon. The best I can do is practice social distancing at 1 foot away from strangers. That's it. I mean, it's not even about me doing video work. It's just, I just want to go to the goddamn park. If people invite me anywhere, I'm saying yes. I might show up for just 10 minutes. I might just try and FaceTime you, but that's a lot more than I was doing before the lockdown. And I feel like that's God's way of punishing those people who would say they were going to show up and they don't. Only he's taking it out on everybody. Anyway, but yeah, man, this quarantine, I've had enough. Enough is enough. Golly. Because I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like the weather has been amazing too during this whole quarantine shit. I went out there, it was 63 with some nice cool wind blowing in my hair. I don't know how much more of this I can take. I don't know what part of the world you live in or what state you live in if you're in the US, but Fort Worth just put out that they're going to continue until May 17th. Lord help me, Jesus. We need someone to save it. And I think, no, that's none other than the Tiger King. He needs to pull some strings. So anyway, Valerie's about to make some brownies if you didn't hear, and we'll go and maybe check out how she's doing them and maybe a little bit of day in the life, because I promise you, I have not gone out. I'm a man of my word. I've been inside, like my hair, it's not even done, and I haven't done it in I don't know how long. I just don't know what to do. Maybe I'm taking this too seriously. Maybe nobody else is following it to a T. Maybe everyone's out in the park and living their life, and I'm over here like an idiot. Being in here, thank God they let me work from home. This is my little workstation. So let's check out to see what else we got to do. All right, Val's about to make some brownies, the non-herbal kind. Here's Jackson, being Jackson. He got a new toy.
28 minutes.
So here's kind of what it's gonna look like trying to vlog with the G85 is that there's no auto exposure, or actually, you know what? I'm gonna switch over to that right now. All right, so the reason you might want to do this is that I have a pancake lens on here right now. It's a 14mm, but it's only 2.5. So if it's anything more than 2 on an aperture, I just put it on shutter priority because you're not really gonna get that blurred background anyway. Or not as much as you'd like to anyway. So with shutter priority, I can pick that I want it on 1/50th of a second. The rest is automated. So the aperture, the ISO, on the ISO, the exposure, you can still control whether you want it under or overexposed. Right now I have it about in the middle. But again, this is, I have like a Joby Gorilla Pod. I have it about arm's length away, and I just touched the autofocus once, and then that's it. Now, I do see that I'm a little overexposed, so I can lower the exposure down with the little dial pad on the back, so that way I'm not like blown out right here, but I'm still technically in focus. And with the IBIS, it's you know, with the Joby Gorilla Pod, when I had the M50, it was too shaky, so I just would never use it. I would just hold it with my hand. But with this is looking pretty good. It's not it doesn't look shaky to me, and I think what I just did on the underexposing actually turned out pretty good, so I think I'm gonna leave it like that. If you do auto ISO, I would underexpose it a little bit, because if you do it in the middle, it's gonna blow out your face when you're close to like light sources. So I'd say it's pretty good, man. It's just like I said, it's not running gun. So if I'm turning it this way, I just tapped autofocus once, and then boom, you're good. Now if you're, let's say you're turning it around real quick to show something, you can still do it. Just do the tap to autofocus, and then boom, just show what you want to show. And then let's say you want to turn it back around, you turn it back around like that, hit the touch to autofocus again, and then boom. So it's not like, yeah, the M50 I was able to just quickly turn it, point, turn it back. Like the dual pix autofocus is the truth. I don't have to worry about if anything's in focus or not. So the M50 is really good for that, or really any Canon camera with dual pix autofocus and the Digit Gate processor. Those are all really good. This isn't bad. I would still use it. Now, am I going to? It just really depends. Like, I like how I can vlog on this with 4K. So if I need a crop or anything like that, I can do that. On the M50, if I cropped in 1080p and I exported it, you could tell like it looked kind of bad. But again, it's just YouTube, so who cares? I think that's it. You want to see me go wipe my butt? That's about as exciting as what we're doing while we're in quarantine. So. Alright, so now I'm using autofocus. I switched to the Manfrotto tripod, the little one. I feel like that one's a little bit easier to use. It's not as long as the Joby one, but I'm on autofocus now. I'm on single point on 4K 24. It's okay, you know, if you're just logging and it's not nothing serious, it's okay. Like if I go in closer, yeah, boom. And then let's see how long it takes. It's taking a while. I'm still not in focus. But just as easily as you could hit the screen to do the tap to focus, you could just have press the shutter, and then it should, there you go. It should just be able to focus on you. And the way you can tell too is the middle marker is green. So if it turns green when you're doing the autofocusing like that, then that means that it got you. So that's you don't have to kind of guess. Because again, looking at this little screen, it's a little hard. But it's usable. Again, if you're using this for a video for somebody else, though, I probably wouldn't use it. Don't use it. But that's about it. Now, I am like this is an addiction. I'm itching to get a G9 now because I heard the G9 is way better, but it has limitations to the record limit. On this one, I can record however long. I think on the G9 you can only record half an hour in 1080p and 10 minutes in 4K, so that sucks. But for now, I'm really happy with the G85. I think I'm gonna vlog with it a little bit longer. I mean, I love the Canon, especially because it has that Sigma 16mm lens, but they make one for Micro Four Thirds too. So anyway, that's been it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Stay safe out there. Bye.